How much of this is going to revolve around the courtroom trial?
We are accelerating that pretty quick. We're going from this episode here, episode 17. After this, we're going to do a several-month jump to mid-December, where we will have already, we wrap up the prosecution's, what do they call that?
Case.
Anybody watch Law & Order? Yeah. The prosecution, this is why that's why I do this genre. But yeah, we're going to wrap that up in the first couple of minutes, really, of episode 18, which takes place in December, and then we launch into the defense of Daniel Grayson, and we'll answer those questions. I believe the trial is done 19?
Yeah,
19?
19.
In 19, so we take care of this in short order. And just something you might not know to ask, one of my favorite things that's happening is what we're shooting right now, which is an origin story, and it's part of what makes Revenge so much fun to write and imagine. We're going to take that, if any of you guys remember that photograph that was in Lydia's house of Emily standing in the background holding a tray of champagne, and there's a photo of you and Lydia before she was thrown off a building. And we just thought it would be really terrific to go back and do an entire episode of Revenge that takes place in 2002. And it was funny with the network, there was just a big question about, well, you can't I want to do flashbacks to David Clark back when you meet him, back when the romance begins. And you can do that within the episode of 2002, but they're like, but it's a flashback inside a flashback. What is this show? And so basically the way we're treating it is, this is an episode of Revenge in 2002. We're not setting it up and starting with her going. It's so the fun of the show is it keeps showing us that there are different places where the show can live, and I think that speaks to where the longevity can be. All of these different wonderful stories, things that happen to these characters in their past are coming up, and we get to do that. So
it actually goes back to it's 2002, and then goes back to 1990.
Yeah.
So 2 flashbacks. Yeah.
It's really neat, and it's very exciting and fun. I hope it's fun for you guys to play.
So much fun.
It's fun to read.
You make a tough teenager. So I'm sorry, I'm monopolizing this.
No, please, monopolize away. It's your panel. So how much fun is it for you guys, for these characters to play, to go back into the flashbacks?
We're 7.
No hair and makeup works wonders.
We'll see what they can do. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, these are like the revengiest children.
I'd be scared of them.
Oh, as you should be.
We get to have a lot of fun.
Yeah,
We get to
we're
go back
having
to
some fun.
The beginning of Emily Nolan and
Yeah.
and that's an interesting relationship.
Emily
to
Nolan
explore.
Genesis. Yes.
Kind of a lot
So
of
Nolan, you're in the
same.
flashbacks too?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's sort of it's like flashing back to the 2090s, and yet by way of the 70s. I don't know. It's like I like to call it Revenge Goes Starsky and Hutch, at least for Nolan.
2009.
I'd love to see Nolan's wardrobe at that point.
Yeah. It's
Oh, you
hilarious.
will.
You should see Nick's hair.
Actually, it's really all about Nick's hair.
Yeah, yeah. You should see my hair.
Describe it for us.
You will. And I wish I
Yeah, why
could
do you look
unsee it.
different, Nick? What's different? What's happening?
It's true. No, it's like they pulled him off. Did you guys see Rock of Ages?
swishy.
Okay, it was big enough. You will, because Tom Cruise is going to play the guy that wears his hair.
They made him shave as well.
Plays your hair.
That was nice.
So anyway, about this episode, now that you are not looking and going, wait, they were 7. What we do? The reason that we did this show is because we get to bring back all of the people that she's taken down in the course of this first season into one party where she meets them from the very
It's like her first
so it's-
glimpse of these people who destroyed her family when she's still not quite believing her father and his journals and his writings, and so it's kind of cool to see her discover these people and watch how they kind of interact at that time, Very cool.
Is that what turns it for her and makes her start believing him?
Yeah, there's a really big event at the New
Surprise.
Year's Eve party. Surprise, exactly. And it really solidifies sort of what her father's been telling her in these journals, and that's sort of the beginning of it all, I suppose. Very exciting.